Hey, it's Tom here with ribbit.TV. I am joined here by Lydia Vaughan here at Utopia Studios. Lydia, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I've been checking out a lot of your stuff on YouTube, and it looks like you've been very busy recently, especially with your Speechless video. Tell us about the song and kind of how the video came about.
Yes. Well, I don't even remember anymore, like, how the video came about. Me and Matt Ellifritz, the guy who sings the dude part in the song, we were just, I guess when we were writing the song, because we co-wrote that song, and we were writing the song, we were just throwing out random ideas for the video, and that's just the one that stuck. So we're like, let's just make me look like a huge creep and have a big crush on my teacher. So that's what we did.
Very cool. Now, did you record that song here in St. Louis, or?
Yes, I did. I recorded that song here with Andrew Kramer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Andrew, as we know, has recorded some pretty awesome bands. So how was it recording with Andrew?
I love Andrew. He is so talented, and he doesn't even understand how talented he is.
Right?
He really doesn't. He has no idea how good he is at what he does.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, so the other video that caught my eye was the video you did with the Victory Lap.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
That was so random because before we did that song together, I had never even met any of those guys. In fact, I didn't meet them or anything till I actually showed up at the studio that day. I guess what had happened is they were in the studio with Kevin Gates in Springfield, and I had worked with Kevin Gates before, and they were talking to Gates about how they wanted a girl for this track that they wanted to do. And so Gates was like, oh, I worked with this girl, Lydia. So Gates showed them some stuff that I had done with him. And so then their singer, Mark Anderson, he messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, hey, so I know you don't know us, and we don't really know you, but we want you to sing on this song. So I was like, sure, why not? I'm off this weekend, so sure. So I ended up going to Springfield, not even hearing a demo of the song. I had no idea what I would be singing. I had no idea. I didn't even, I'd never heard their music before. I didn't even know, how old they were or anything. I was like, I'm just trusting the Gates wouldn't have me go beyond some, really crappy 15-year-old punk band
Disney
or something. Pop. Yeah, Disney pop. I don't know. I just kind of blindly showed up there, and we ended up doing something really cool. So it was
awesome,
really cool.
It was, who shot that video? Is Jack Louie? Is that who shot that?
Zach Louie.
Zach Louie.
Zach Louie.
Right. So have you worked with him before, or was that kind of your first time shooting a video with
That
Zach?
was the first time I'd worked with Zach.
Okay.
Okay, so can I just tell a story about Zach real fast?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so my first impression of Zach, I was in the vocal booth, okay, recording my part for the song, and my manager, Kevin Smith, he's black. Okay, it relates to the story, I promise. Okay, so I was in the vocal booth when Zach got there to the studio, and Zach walks in the room, so Gates stops recording so they can be like, hey, what's up, And so they're talking, and I can kind of sort of hear what's going on in there, but not really. And because I was still in the vocal booth. And then next thing I know, I just hear Zach start yelling. He was pissed off, and he's yelling, and he walks out of the room, and all I heard him say is, what? He's black? And he walks out of the room, and it was so awkward and quiet, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening in there? And then Zach walked back in the room. He's like, I'm just kidding. Everybody started cracking up. And so that was my first impression. Yeah,
wow.
First impression of Zach. But that's actually how I met Zach. And then after we had filmed that video for the Victory Lap is when he was like, we should work together again. And so that's how.
So he did the Speechless video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very cool.
He did the Speechless video too.
Now, the Victory Lap released that song as a single on iTunes, I think, right?
Yes.
Did you see, I guess, a lot of did you gain a lot of fans from doing that video with them and being a part of the Victory Lap?
Yeah, actually, they released that song before I had released any of my music. So yeah, that they released that before I even had a lot of my social media sites up, and yeah.
So it kind of eased you in there.
A jump start.
Awesome. Yeah, so another song that I heard on YouTube was, I think it was called Just a Boy.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that. Is Is it a song about anyone in particular, I think is the question we're all dying to know.
Okay, well, yes, to answer your question, it is. I'm not going to mention any names, all right? But pretty much every song I write is about either a specific person or a situation in my life. Except for Speechless, I've never had a crush on my teacher. Disclaimer, okay? But yeah, Just a Boy, I did write that about a relationship that I was in, and it obviously didn't work out, and it was a bummer, and I was sad. But yeah, now that song can just kind of relate to my love life as a whole, and pretty much any guy that I ever dated. So.
Right. So kind of before you started your solo career, you were in a band called Weeknight Remedy?
Yes, Weeknight Remedy.
So I guess what made you decide to leave the band and kind of branch out on your own?
Well, it was a lot of things. I loved being in a band, and I loved like the style that we were. We were like alternative rock. A lot of people compared us to Paramore or Flyleaf or whatever. And we were together for like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were. We started at the beginning of high school, and eventually, like, we all started having trouble writing together because a lot of our individual styles changed. And so, I mean, honestly, there was just some band drama, I guess, and differences in, like, where we wanted to go. And we're all actually still really good friends. Like, those guys will always be like my
awesome.
boys,
Yeah.
But things just didn't really pan out the way that we had wanted, and you know, like one of our guitarists, he just wanted to have like a metal breakdown in every bridge, and then like, you know, one of the guys would like want to do like be like Muse or something, and then one of the other guys wanted to be like more punk influence. It was just like there was so much and difference in like what we each individually wanted to do that it was really hard to like write. And then when we would get together and write something, it was like we were each compromising. Like
right.
None of us like really liked the song that we would write. We'd only like the part that we contributed.
Sure.
And just when it's not fun anymore, when you don't even like what music you're producing, like it's not really even worth it. So
do you find it a lot easier than to write by yourself, or?
It is a lot easier to write by myself because I don't have to ask anybody.
Sure.
You know, like,
do you have kind of, I guess, like a process you go about writing? Do you just sit down and say, I'm going to write a song and I'm not getting up until I'm done? Or do you kind of wait for stuff to happen and then that influences a song?
Yeah, it's different for me. Like, it just depends. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to get something done. I've got to get work done for real. And I will sit down and, like you said, I won't leave until I write a song.
Right.
Other times I'm actually just like, I just feel like writing, and it's not like I feel like I need to because I need to get something done. I want to write. That's how I express myself. So, yeah, it'll just depend. Sometimes I'll sit down at my piano. I usually write with my piano, and sometimes I'll come up with the music first and then lyrics and melodies. Other times lyrics are first and then melodies and music, so it just depends.
Very cool. Now, you mentioned you were in Weeknight Remedy for 6 years. Have you been playing music your whole life, or I guess, do you have a musical family? Kind of what's your background there?
Yeah, my dad, he actually, he plays guitar and he's really good, so I guess I do get influence from him. When I was younger, I was a band geek, like in middle school and in high school. I played the flute and the tenor saxophone, actually. I was in a jazz band.
Very cool. I've got some jazz experience too.
I love jazz.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. But yeah, so I guess I've always like had some sort of musical talent, if you will.
Sure,
but
sure.
It didn't like really translate over to what I'm doing now until like high school, I guess, later years.
Now, have you found that kind of, I guess, your musical taste has changed over the years, or are you kind of still listening to the same stuff that you grew up to and loved?
It's definitely changed, actually. I'm really into pop now. Obviously, that's kind of what I'm doing with my solo project, but before, I was super into like metal and like hardcore, and which I still love to this day. And like a few years ago, if you would have asked me like if I liked Kesha or Katy Perry, I would have been like, no, they're stupid. Their songs are like 4 chords and like 2 notes, and I could write a song like that in 5 minutes. And then when I actually like challenged myself to write a pop song, I realized how difficult it is to write a song that like is so simple yet so catchy that like everybody loves. So I gained a lot of respect for it, I guess.
Sure.
And yeah, my style definitely has changed.
Now, do you do, I guess, cover videos too on YouTube, or are you trying to keep it all original?
It's funny you ask that. Right now, everything's original, but I actually have some covers planned, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, definitely. So you do have a couple of songs out there on YouTube. Are there any plans to release a full album or an EP or anything, or do you have something out already?
I don't have a full EP out or a full album. I do plan on releasing an EP soon. I really, really want to release it this spring. So I'm going to be getting back into the studio hopefully within the next few months. So we'll see what happens. We don't have a release date set or anything, but...
Now, you've worked with Andrew Kramer and both Kevin Gates. Are you going to go with either one of them for the album or somewhere else?
I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I kind of want to have a mixture of producers on this album.
Sure.
I kind of just, because who you're working with kind of changes what you're doing.
Right.
I don't know,
No,
like
absolutely.
they each bring something to the table that's different. So I don't know, I might try to go to a few different people.
Very cool. All right, so your song Speechless actually was played in Journeys.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I'm not 100% sure. That was Kevin working his magic. He pulled some strings and got the music video for Speechless to play in Journeys nationwide. So it was really cool because I had a friend in Florida, okay, who texted me a picture of my face on the TV screen, and he was like, dude, your face is in Journeys in Florida. I was like, that's pretty cool. So
That is awesome.
It felt pretty cool. I never saw it though, because I didn't want to be like creepy and like shop for shoes like forever until it came on and then like watch myself. So I really, really wanted to see it, but I didn't. I didn't want to be a huge creep.
It seemed that a lot of people saw it. I think like half the comments on the video were, oh, I saw this on Journey. So it seemed like it helped out a lot.
No, it did. It was really cool too. And like, even some people like tweeted at me and were like, I found you from Journeys. And a lot of the actual Journeys employees, people that worked at Journeys across the country, were the ones who, started contacting me and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
Very neat. Well, do you have any, I guess, future plans for any live shows or anything?
Yes, I'm definitely going to start playing shows soon. Right now, I'm kind of working on getting that live set put together.
Sure.
It's really different being a solo artist because I don't want to just play a show and have backing tracks, and
Right.
I'm trying to throw together kind of a backing band, so shows will be a little bit more fun and interesting.
Very cool.
But yeah, I'm ready to start playing shows. I want to tour so bad. When I was in my rock band, we toured for a while.
Sure.
And touring is just a weird thing. Like, when you're gone too long, you want to be home, but when you're home too long, you want to be gone. And
Right.
I've been home too long, and I'm ready to go. So I really hope I start playing shows soon.
Sure. Now, I guess there's touring, there's recording, and there's writing. I guess out of those three, what's kind of your favorite part about the whole music business?
Oh gosh, out of those, that's so hard. That's so hard. I really think being in the studio is my favorite thing. I feel like I come alive when I'm in the studio. That's like when I'm fully me.
Do you ever write in the studio, or do you usually have stuff kind of before you go in? Or
Usually I have stuff before I go in, but a lot of times it changes while I'm in the studio.
Sure.
I remember actually, I worked with some producers in Atlanta. I don't know, they were Mayday Parade's producers, Zach Odom and Kenneth.
Oh, cool.
Mount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really cool guys. And I worked with them in Atlanta, and I remember they wanted to record one of my songs that like I just did not want to record. And I was like, well, I only sent that to you as a demo just so you could kind of like hear me. I don't want to record it. It's not finished. Like, I can't get the chorus right.
Right.
And they were like, well, then you need to write a chorus. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I've written like 20 choruses for this song and I can't get it right. Like, I just can't. I don't want to do it. So they were like, you know what, Lydia, we're going to leave the studio open for you tonight, and we don't want you to leave here tonight until you finish the song. And yeah, so they really challenged me, but I ended up like staying there late that night and like writing in the studio. And they came back the next morning and I played what I wrote, and they were like, that's it, that's what the song needed. So yeah, a lot of times things changed in the studio and certain parts get rewritten, and yeah.
Very cool. I think that's all the questions I have for you right now.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
It's
Thank you
been
so
a
much for
pleasure,
having me.
and the best of luck to you in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I just got silly.